New project today. I'm retrofitting my fluorescent tube lights with LED lights. What we'll do first is unplug the lights. What I'll do next, I'm going to mark the chain and then take the light assembly down from the ceiling. What we'll do next is move the chains that suspend the light. And just moving these out of the way. There's two of them that hold the light to the ceiling. Okay, next I'm going to flip the light assembly upside down. I'm going to get this wire out of the way. We'll take the two tubes out. They just roll out just like normal. And then what we're going to be looking at is 3 screws. There's one here. There's one in the center. The one that's in the center is a machine screw on this particular light assembly. Then I have another one down at the opposite end. Okay, I've moved the tubes out of the way for safety's sake. And we'll take these 3 screws out. Again, the 2 on each end are a sheet metal design. I'm just going to set these down here. Go to the opposite end and take that one out. I'm going to be out of frame here for a minute. Then the center one is kind of an oddball. I might have to use 2 screwdrivers to get it out of place. Depends on whether it wants to be grumpy or not. And now, once I get this thing out of here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. There, it popped loose. I'm going to set that one in the center. I'm going to ease my light assembly back over. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see this on the end. What I want to see if I can get in here and show you this without being in the way is that when you get ready to slide this center piece out here so we can get to the ballast resistor and everything, I just take these little tabs. There's one right there. You slide it in, you'll see the piece drop down. There's another one right there. I'll slide it in, you'll see that connector drop down. Do the same thing here on both sides, and that connector will drop down inside there. And what we'll do is this end will just lift right up now. Okay, that's up in the air. Let's see if this will do this. This is what I want to try to show you what it's going to do. Is this end should just slide out from underneath it, and what it does will just roll us over like so, out of the way. Okay, with the top off, we're going to start making the first of the modifications that we have to make inside here. If these 2 connectors on this end are not going to have any electrical power to them anymore, they're not going to be powered or grounded, so we can just cut the wires off. And all these are going to do on this end is hold the new light tube in place. There's no power on these 2 right here. Okay, let's go to the other end. Okay, we're down to the ballast resistor. This is the next piece to come out. And what holds it in is a 5/16 nut right here. And there is a Phillips head screw on the back side of it. What I've been using to take them off up until now was this 5/16 wrench and my little baby Phillips head screwdriver. This particular nut right here wanted to be extra grumpy, so what I had to do is put me a socket, little baby socket, and a ratchet on it. I'll give me some more torque on that thing to crack it loose. She's broke loose though, so what I'm going to do is try to slip in here and just take this nut off from the back side, and the Phillips head screw slides out from the back side, and these two are discard. You don't use these anymore. The ballast resistor is also a discard, and it just slides into a couple of slots down here once you get that 3/8 screw out. And what we'll do is we'll slide it out, and she's free to come out. What we're looking at right now is this is my primary concern right here. I need these two wires right here. I'm going to come and grab my little side cutters. And these are held together with a little tie strap right here. I'm just going to clip the tie strap so I can get it out of the way. And what I need is this little piece of white. I'm going to leave this little piece of white wire on here so that can ID the neutral side for me. And I'm going to do the same thing with the black wire. I'm going to leave a little pinch of this black wire on here so it can ID the power side for me. The ground stays attached to the light assembly, and what happens is the ballast resistor comes out, these two ends come out, all of the rest of this is a discard. So we can just go ahead and lay that off to the side. I'm going to make one more modification on the housing itself, and I've laid a rag in here. Hopefully you can see this, and I'm going to try to point it to you. You'll see there's a right angle notch cut right here. I've found that when I get ready to put my connectors back in, they want to hang on this thing a little bit, and it makes it aggravating to try to get this assembly to close up. What I'm going to do, and I've done it on the other 4 lights that I've already done, is I come in here and I cut me a diagonal notch right there, and it clears that corner off right there. And I'm going to do the other 3 corners on this just like this. And I just wanted to show it to you, and then you'll see later on when I get ready to reassemble the light, you'll see how much easier it makes it happen. Yeah, the only thing that you have to be sure of is that your black is going to go into the correct side of your connector. Your neutral is going to come into the opposite side of the connector on this side, and they're marked. So you got an L there, that's going to be your black side. I just went ahead and made a mark on the light, made a mark on my connector right here. The only other thing is that you have to do is when you're setting one of them up is to make sure that your clear side is facing down. Your frosted side is your reflective side that sets up inside your light. So your light's going to actually shine this way. So that's the only thing you got to do is to make sure that all of that stuff is correct. Let's go ahead and start hooking up some wire, and we'll go from there. Okay, I hope you can see this on this all white background. I'm just going to separate these wires. They'll tear apart a little bit, and this will give me some working room on the 2 wires that I need to deal with. And we'll start stripping some wires and getting things locked together, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Okay, and on this one section where the hard wire here attaches to the stranded wire on the light, I have to put a butt connector in it. So what we're going to do here is slide our hard wire into my butt connector like so. Get my good old-fashioned crimping pliers, and I just bump my camera, so we'll be careful. I'm trying to keep this in camera and do this, and put a little bit of a crimp on it. There we go. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is the stranded wire that comes out of the wiring harness that comes with the light itself. And that's where we have to put the butt connector at, because this stranded wire will not slide down into this connector. And I'm going to go ahead and get it squared away. We can get her to slide up on there, and I'll put the butt connector on it, and then once I get it all hooked up, I'll let you look at it again. I'm going to see if we can show you how pretty simple this is to do these lights here. You see there's a hole right there. You'll slide the wire in it, push her in, and you'll feel it go in and bottom out, and then you tug on a little bit, and that tells you she's locked in. There we go. And basically, just to kind of get him pretty much in the straight location, I cut the wire to length. See, it's tied in. We just set her down here where she belongs at. Slide over here to the connector. I'm going to ease it up out of the hole a little bit so it'll make it easier for me to get in here. We'll slide it in. It's going to bottom out, pull on it a little bit. She's locked in place. Now the neutral side of that light connector is hooked up. We'll go to the next one. Okay, we got our white side all connected up. Our power side, which is the black wire, you see we've done the changeover from the stranded wire through the butt connector to the black wire. All we have to do now is just we'll hook up our black wire to the black side of each one of the connectors. I'll show you how easy it is to slide when I'm in. Goes in a little hole, push on it, you'll feel it lock in place, tug on it, and she's there. We'll get the other wires hooked up and I'll let you look at it. Okay, we've got our electrical connectors hooked up. They're hooked up to both of our connectors down here. I put a tie strap on them loosely just to kind of hold this end down inside the cover when we laid the top half of the unit on. And now I'm going to go ahead and set the top in and see if we can show you what I was talking about as far as cutting these corners off, how it makes it a lot easier to set the top back down on the piece. I'm going to shut it down and get you down at the other end. I think I can show you down there a lot easier, and then we'll come back and slide the other end in. Okay, what we're going to do is just lay our top piece, our top half, down like so. And what we're looking at is on these two connectors here, they're just going to slide in here like this. And slide in here like this, like that. I'm going to lift the other end up, and these should drop in. There we go. This end is actually dropped in past the clips on the underside. I'm just going to lightly attach one of the screws. I'm just going to get it started so this end will stay where it is and it won't go moving around on me. Back them up and get it started back in the hole. There we go. She's on there just real light. Now we're going to go to the other end. I'll show you what I'm doing to get the assembly put back together. Okay, now on this end, you'll notice that the two connectors have dropped down inside. And what we're going to do is just, I'm going to try to do this so you can see it. I'm going to lift them up out and put them into the connector for them. Okay, that one slid in. Get this one up and get it slid in, hopefully. There, that one slid in. And what we want to do now is get them to drop back in place and make sure that we don't have any wires pinched. I'm going to peek underneath. Nothing on that side. Nothing on that side. She pretty much dropped down in there pretty good. and you'll see your little hole is visible right here. I'm going to grab one of the sheet metal screws, just set it in there, put our little Phillips head on it. I like to back the Phillips head up until I feel it drop down in the hole. There it went. And then you can start rotating, and usually that'll go ahead and let you know that you got a good in the hole where it was threaded at before. I'm going to snug that one down a little bit, not all the way, because we still have to deal with our center machine screw. And we get over top of the center machine screw, and we'll show you how that works. And this is the hole for our machine screw right here. And what I'm going to do is take me a little ice pick or a little pin punch and just center it up a little bit. There we go. Take our little machine screw and our little baby Phillips head. Set down in there. I'm going to push back up on this a little bit. Let's see if she grabs a hold. I'm going to rotate it backwards a little bit till I feel it drop in. There it went. There, she got nice and tight. We'll ease it over, and then we'll tighten the 2 screws on each end. And all I'm going to do with these screws on the end, just push in on the end a little bit. You'll see the screw head move some. That would make it nice and snug inside. And just tighten those up. That one's good. I'll go to the other end, tighten that one up. Now let's get some tubes and drop them in. Okay, here's one of the tubes. You notice that when I rotate it in, it's going to rotate like this, and this is the clear side here. So let's see if we can get her dropped in there. You notice that L is up, and when I rotate it, it's going to rotate over to the black side. Let's get both ends dropped in. We'll rotate it over, and I'll let they'll lock into that little channel that's up in the top here, and I'll do the other end. That's it. That's one of them tubes in. Let's put the other one in. And again, I got it marked where when it slides in the hole, it's going to rotate over to that L. That L is going to rotate over to the black side. It's going to rotate over, and you saw it pop up when it rotated in. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Both ends rotated in, and they kind of pop up toward the top of the light fixture. You can see there it went. They stand up a little bit inside the fixture when they get in all the way. Okay. There. Okay, we'll put some chains back on it and hang it up. There's the new light in place. I don't know if you can tell it or not on the video, but it is a huge improvement. I'm very impressed with the new light system.